G'day traders, this is Sam here to do another Bitcoin presentation, give you a high level overview, give you the micro perspective, levels of interest, and my thoughts on the current price and my thoughts on making the trade. So if you listen to it, hopefully it doesn't go too long. I will give you some spill on how I use these indicators. I'll talk about my methodology as well in some of that, and hopefully you gain from some of this. Right, so looking at the weekly, I'll start from the top. Weekly, I have the weekly resistance level, which was derived from the weekly candlestick, and I've got the weekly candlestick here. So I use that top of the body of the window candlestick to find my support or resistance, and you can see currently how price action is working. So the weekly resistance here is what we're looking for to be support. Currently, price is slightly below, but we've still got a day and a bit for this candle to close above it. So these lines will be relevant on the daily, as you see next. So if I go to the daily chart, you can see my weekly resistance there and my weekly support. I've drawn my daily resistance based on the daily candle over here, over there, and you can see during the day or during the week, the daily candlesticks close below the weekly. So that makes a lot of sense. And so the major resistance is this level. Okay, so let me just highlight that. This is the major resistance derived from the weekly resistance candlestick, which is also equivalent to the daily across here. Okay, and then we have the weekly support, which equates to the daily resistance here. So this is the level that we want to see the daily to close above, and currently we're below it. Price has dropped below this daily resistance, and it's finding support on this daily 10 EMA. Similarly, we have this trend line. If I go to the 4-hour, which will make it more obvious. So let me just get rid of that. That was my thoughts previously. I'll explain to you guys soon. Clean the chart up a bit. Okay, that gives me a reminder what to talk about. But what you can see, this trend line derived from these points of touch. So we've got two there. We've got a touch there and a touch there, and that's why we have a touch here. So this trend line is playing a role. This red line, which is derived from this left side on the daily, which uses the volume of transactions and basically averages out the levels of price where the volume's the most, and it comes up with this red line. I put this red line to match that, and you can see confluence for that wick. So we have this trend line. We also have this tool that says this area is significant. Then we have, if we were to adjust this Fibonacci, let's see how we can do this. Yep. To that point, you can see the 0.382 has confluence. So we've got three elements that agree: trend line, volume, Fibonacci. The 10 EMA is above it, but that's on a daily, and it's looking like we're going to close above it in the 4-hour. So it's pretty close. So this is the area I'm interested in buying. I'm going to look at it soon. So I want to get past this very quickly. And you can see areas of a confluence. This area where I got all these circles tells you that this area is resistance. Okay, another area of resistance. So if price does, so let me go to the 1 hour, so make it a bit more obvious. We need to see price go above this weekly resistance to be support. So if price, and I do believe this is the case, price is going to go up to this level, and it's going to find this area as resistance. And I have a feeling the price will drop. You'll find this as support, even might wick down to here, but generally this is the area of entrance, and then up it goes. Chances are, and these are my thoughts currently, that this grey area is a strong resistance, so price will break through this pretty quickly, find some selling off, ranging down to this weekly support, which is all across here. You can see it's support was a major resistance area, and you will probably use that as support. It's the weekly resistance area, so it's going to use as support, come down. So we need a decisive breakthrough. If we don't get a decisive breakthrough and we get this, then we will probably drop down to the next level, maybe here, and then up. Okay, so we've got two scenarios: a decisive break, support. So this will be an area of interest to jump in. If you don't do it here, or if you don't do it there, then this is the case. Don't miss that one out. So this is possible. The chart pretty much says that this is, if that's the case, we have our A, we have our B, this level, and we have our C, and up it goes. And then if it doesn't break this area decisively, then we have a D and an E of the Elliott correction wave. So that's my thoughts at the moment. From a bullish perspective, nothing else tells me that that's not going to be the case. We've got the Fibonacci's, we've got the moving average, and we've got the weekly support and resistance, and the dailies all agreeing that this is an area of entrance. So don't miss out. If price was to drop below, and it is possible, then I got this average, this purple line going across, which is the middle of the channel. The channel is another whole thing, another discussion altogether, but it can play the role just like these two hit the middle of the channel. So potentially, if price was to drop, that's my area of interest, which is confluent to this middle layer. Yep. And by that time, probably the 20 moving average will come up as well. So it could be roughly the 20 moving average. But I don't see that happening at this point. But if you need to play that scenario, so if it drops like that, yep, buy in at that level. And we still have that triangle formation. So it doesn't go away. So all bullish with me. And I think actually one more. So that covers the chart with based on Fibonacci, trend lines, and a few other things, as you know, as I explained. Now let's look at. Let me just delete. I'll save this. Give me a sec. I'm going to delete all that just to talk to about this, okay, and the tools that we have. So let's talk about the tool. Delete the tools. Bugger, that's not good. Let me put that back and go to the daily. Bugger. Give me one more. Okay, that's all back. Now let's look at the daily indicators, because I've drawn all this in. So the RSI pretty much agrees with the symmetrical triangle that I talked about up there. So you need something like this to confirm that you're on the right track. And even this indicator, MVT, does the same thing. And this tool basically shows you pressure, downward pressure, and so on. I'm noting that this price is starting to go up. So I'll keep it short. Basically, RSI is saying that if the price comes down towards this area, there's going to be a lot of support and potentially go up. It might bounce a bit and then up. And if it breaks this area, this is going to go humongous. Similarly here, this could go and then big increase up there. So I think it could be if you see price going breaking any of these levels, go long. Yeah, maybe it might drop down, possible. But if it does break that top level, jump in. I have this Phoenix here. RSI is above 50%, and potentially this can just keep turning back, and up it goes. So even the indicators are showing confluence with the price. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. I don't want to go talking about too much of this, but you can, in the previous videos I did cover this. If I was to use this blue line as the average and the point of cross where it crosses over, you can see the MVT. Yep, it's points of selling. Yep. Even if these RSI, the green crossing the red, it tells you point of selling. So these tools are freely available, except this one here. RSI is pretty much, if you use RSIs properly, you'll find that as well. There's another tool I have which tells you the depth of the pullback. It gives you some indication, which is basically about 50% of that tool. Okay, and I think that's it. So all the best, guys, and stay tuned for my next video when it's appropriate. Please give me a like or a follow, and talk to you soon. Cheers.